Hello there. Today I will be showing you how to build my Lego Transformers animated Megatron. So I got a new camera stand instead of using Legos and whatnot. So yeah, I have a proper camera stand now. So that's why this angle is a little better, and I'll probably be using it in the rest of my reviews and tutorials. But yeah, this is what we have in front of us and what we're going to be building today. So let's just get straight into it because this is good. Because this is definitely going to take a while to see how to build. It's pretty big. Alright, first things we're going to look at, this is pretty straightforward. Got a clip, T-joint, and these rounded 1x2 plates, and then this 1 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a 1 by 8. 1 by 8 plate, or tile. 1 by 8 tile up here. And yeah, that's the basic build. Pretty simple. And the next for his blaster, you're just going to get these pieces. This 1x2 brick. This bracket going up with this 2x2 jumper underneath that brick, and on top of it, it's like an inverse bracket you just put down here with a black 2x2 plate with some cheese slopes on top, like so. And then underneath that, you'll have two of these builds. Pretty simple to see how to build that. This piece could also definitely just be a black 2x2 instead of two separate plates that are 1x2s. But yeah, that's all I had built, I guess. Actually, no, that is not possible for what you're trying to build here. So no, do not do a 2x2 right here. It has to be two individual plates for how it connects. But yeah, it's going to attach like that. So there you go. Then next after that, this is how it's going to connect and why you can't make it just a normal 2x2 plate. But piece like this brick with studs on the sides, plate underneath, a plate on top, and then a tile on top to finish it off, and then just attach it like so. Should have something like this. And then next thing you're going to build is this 2x4 plate right here with these cheese slopes on top. Then you're going to either get two of these tiles or just one 2x4 tile, but this is all I had left, so you're just gonna grab that. And then next you're going to grab another one of these black studs on the side pieces, then a brick on top, red 1x2, black 1x2, red 1x2, and then a black 1x2 tile. And then one side, going to attach the rectangle, not rectangle, well, kind of functions as a rectangle, but a triangle, and then the tile or tiles will go down here. Then once you've built that, it will not connect like that, it will connect like this. And there you go. Make sure your gun or fusion cannon looks like this. So yeah. Next thing you're going to build is this backpack section. So 2x4 plate right there with these two bar pieces on the sides. And then on this side you're going to have a dark gray 1x2 right next to these bar pieces, and then on the other side you're going to have this 1x2 clip piece with another bar with another dark gray 2x1 right there, and then you're just going to have this ball joint 2x1 right here in this orientation. So the studs are facing down where the anti-studs are down here, and then on top of all that, tile, turntable piece, and then this tile that is a 1x4. So yeah, there, that little section, just set it off to this side real quick. Next thing you're going to build is this. Got this ball joint section right here, more of a connector piece. And then you've got this 2x2 tile, then this 1x2, and then got these two 1x2 red pieces. They could be transparent or normal red. I decided to go transparent to make it different from the rest of his body. And then all of that will be connected on two of these 2x2s. 2x4s. Like this. So, yeah, should have something like this. And then underneath that, you should have another 2x4. On top of that, you've either got a 2x3 brick right here, but apparently I didn't have that. So I just stacked 2 or 3 2x3s on top of each other to fill in that space right there. But at the end right here, as you can see, you're going to have these modified bricks, 1x1s, so that you can have these tiles on them. So that when it transforms, these tiles can swivel back to cover the head in helicopter mode, which is pretty nifty. And then on top of that, you've got these T-slopes, then the gray 2x1, and then more T-slopes. So there you go with that section. And this will connect like so. Leave this space open because that is where his head will go, like I said. And not really necessarily, actually. That's more so like a space for it to fit in robot mode. But yeah, as you can see, it does fold around to hide that space. And then you can connect the ball joint section like so. And there you go. And the way you'll attach this is that it will go like this, actually. Go back here, swivel it around, and do that. So like I said, that gap will be there because it has to fit in like so. So there you go. That is that. So yeah. Next thing you're going to do is grab this 1x1 clip, put a 1x1 plate underneath. This could either be a jumper or just a normal tile. And then ideally you would have two of these 2x3 or 1x3 bricks right here, but I didn't have them. I only had one of them, so an alternative you can have is a 1x2 brick and then a 1x1 brick. It doesn't really affect the model too much. And then underneath here you will have this, if I can get it out, you'll have this rounded 1x3 plate down here, and then you'll put those robot hands in as shown. Ideally all these pieces should be dark gray, but I didn't have them all in dark gray, so they're in a different variety of colors of light gray and black. But they will attach to these bar pieces right here. Got this tile 1x3 right there, and then got these brackets with this 2x3 right here, and then a 1x2 right there. On top you will have this 2x3 tile connecting this, and then a 1x1 tile, and then this piece, this rounded jumper plate that is a hollow stud. This piece should be red, but I only had one of them in red, so I just decided to make them both dark gray instead of having one red and then one dark gray. So have that piece in red, replace that because that's more accurate, and then like I just demonstrated, just folds in for transformation. And this simply tabs in like so. You're also going to build a duplicate for the other side, and it will attach like so. And the backpack should be looking something like this. So yeah, when you do attach it, you will also want this tile to be underneath here, like so. So yeah. And as a side note, you can use this bar piece instead, as you don't really need this section to be sliding in transformation like this at all. So the function kind of isn't there, so it would be kind of more ideal and stable or whatever to have it on this piece instead, because it doesn't really need to swivel. But I don't know, maybe it's a little bit too high. I don't know. It's your choice at the end of the day. For the head, you will grab a black Travis brick, a light gray tile on one side, and then 1x1 plate, and then a 1x1 tile on the opposite side. Then you'll grab some jumper plates, attach the studs in the middle by the studs on the side of this Travis brick on each side. And when you attach them, make sure they are pushed down all the way like so until they are hitting the ground, so that, you know, it simulates that little detail on his head. Then you're going to have a dark gray 1x2 and then a dark gray 1x1 tile, just like so, and then attach it like this, and yeah, there is the head. So yeah, if this thing stops popping off, yeah, now there's the head. Pretty neat. All around pretty neat. Now we're going to build his torso, which can get complicated, so bear with me. First thing you're going to do is grab these plates, yeah, put them on the bottom like that, and then attach the tiles on top of them like this, and you should have his chest plate done. So pretty simple build. Set that off to the side. Next thing you're going to want to build is these tiles underneath. Not tiles, plates underneath, this ball joint section and stuff. And then the tiles on top like so. And then, you know, once you have this done, just attach the head, and then there you go. That is the shoulder section. Next you're gonna do, grab two bricks like this. Oh, it turns out I actually did have these bricks. They're just here. But anyway, I don't know if there's a 1x6 brick, but if you could use that, that would be ideal here. But here they are separated into two 1x3 bricks, with these two plates on top in the middle, and then these brackets on one side. This should be light gray, and these should also be dark. No, this should be dark gray, and this should be dark gray. But they're not really too visible in robot mode, so it doesn't matter. So yeah, once you have that section done, I'm going to grab two pieces like this. Also should be in dark gray, but once again, don't have them in dark gray. But still, you're going to attach them like so. And then you're going to grab a piece like this. This is a pretty unique piece. You will need all the stud surface area for this to be entirely stable. So make sure you have a piece like this. And just attach it like so. And then you will grab two of these pieces, attach them like so, and there you have that. Should have a section like this done, and once you do have a section like this done, there will be a notification that you will ignore, and then you just attach the chest plate on there like so. So it should be looking like this, and then you got that shoulder section, and then you're going to attempt to tap that in, and there you go. That is a pretty satisfying tab in. So yeah, it is pretty stable, except for the head, of course. That thing will fall off. It's a one stud connection, but still it's pretty stable, and it's one thing I'm very proud of this build. And it's also very smooth. It's just very satisfying to me, but we should get going for time. Next you're going to do, grab his backpack section and just cop this section out of the way. and just tap that in like so, and then put that cockpit section back in. But one thing you might notice, it is flopping everywhere. That is something we got to keep going to fix. Alright, next thing you're going to do is grab a red 2 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then grab bracket with that dark gray tile in front. Just attach that there like so, and then you will grab a red 1 by 2, 1 by 4 with a dark gray 1 by 2 tile right there. Then attach that like so. Next thing you're going to do is grab these little sections like so. Pretty straightforward. Attach them on the sides here. Just like so. Should have something like this. Next thing you're going to do is grab a couple of pieces like this. Not washing machine brick. It's like a pan piece. And then you've got these two red 1 by 1 plates stacked on top of each other. Next to that, you've got this red brick with a black stud up here. You will want to have that black stud up here for detail. And then attached to that pan piece is this simple little build. And this dark gray piece, dark red, should be dark gray like these pieces, but once again, didn't have them in dark gray. But you just attach it like that. Yeah, depending on which side this is, should be looking something like this. But we're not really there yet, so you're just going to attach it right here, like so. And there you go. Each side should look like this on the back. So build the same thing on the other side. It is the same build. There is no real mirroring. You just have to move them differently, like this. So there you go. Then the next section, it's pretty interesting. Just trying to get this piece off. I think I had it. There we go. But you're gonna have these 1 by 2 dark gray pieces, these plates underneath attached to these two red washing machine bricks. They could be dark gray. These pieces can also be dark gray, but you will attach them right here into the washing machine bricks. Then on top of that, you will have this railroad piece right here. And then, as I took it off, as you can see, I have another one of these pieces that you attach to the back of these washing machine bricks if they're aligned properly. And then should tab in, or it's on the wrong side. That's why, yeah. Alright, there we go. Now you should have something like this. And this is pretty simple to tab in to the torso. You just attach these two studs, or anti-studs, to those studs right there. And there you go. It all lines up like that on the torso. And yeah, it's a pretty complex way to fill in that torso piece. Probably wondering why. It's because for that waist swivel, for me to actually build that waist, how I needed to transform this section down here had to end on anti-studs. And if I kept building like that normally, without that little complex trick right here, it would be normal studs, and I wouldn't have been able to complete that transformation step I needed for the hips. So, lucky I had enough room to put this in here. Surprised they even came up with it. It's pretty complex. But if it's right there, it's not that unsturdy, if that makes sense. It is pretty sturdy. And then this is where you will attach this section, just right here. And this might be easier if you move these sections down here for the moment. And then you just attach it like so. And it is once again a pretty snug fit because that is a lot of studs lining up, and it will be pretty sturdy. And then this is where it'll fix that rattling problem. These little sections right here should clutch in, if that makes sense. They move up, they clutch that turntable piece. Not a turntable piece, they clutch this tile piece right here. So it stops rattling back and forth. If I can demonstrate that real quick. Also, while you're connecting things to this guy's torso, do not be afraid to push down. This is a very sturdy build, like I said. So, yeah. As you can see, torso kind of stops wobbling around because these sections are clutching it. So, yeah. Works pretty well. So, yeah, there you go. Alright, now for the arms. Let's start off with the little simple builds, real simple sections. You've got this pretty simple build. This is pretty self-explanatory. When you look at this, I think you should know how to build it. Same thing goes for these. Literally one piece and two pieces. This is pretty simple to figure out. Same thing with this. This here is a Technic piece. So, yeah, that's how this ANSI stud fits in there. But if there is a piece like this that you have in dark gray with this just a normal stud instead of an anti-stud right there, that also works so that you can put another one of these tile pieces on there. But I didn't have that, so this is what I had to go with. Then behind that, just a normal brick. And then you've got this tile up here with these two cheese slope pieces, like so. Next thing you're going to build is this modified brick right here, then a washing machine brick next to it, which is facing out here. On top of that, you're going to have this this bracket that is facing in this specific direction, and then underneath that washing machine brick, you're going to have this upward bracket, and then to this side of this modified brick right here, you're going to have this upward bracket, but with two studs, and there's another notification. But yeah, that is the shoulder. How it connects, I am pretty sure it is this arm. So when you attach it, it's going to be like this. Just grab this normal tile, attach it on the side like so. Keeps it pretty stable. You can put that section right there. This section can attach up here, and as you might have guessed, this section tabs in like so, fills that section in, and there you go for the shoulders. Now for the arms. Grab these two T-joints with these 1x2 rounded hollow plates attached, and then right here you're going to have yeah, basically this, another piece. This piece appears again on top of this 2x2 plate with this like rounded anti upside down studded, whatever, it's a tile. It's more so like a gap filler kind of just hides the anti studs. But anyway, and then to fill out this empty space with these pieces, just a normal brick right there. On top of that, you'll have 2x2 and then 2x2 tile attached on the top like so. And then for the wrist, before you do that, just attach this like so, and then just attach this like so. That wants to go in. There we go. So yeah, that's one arm done. Just for the fist, you're just going to have this 2x2 jumper plate attached to this upward 2x2 bracket with a black brick on it and a black jumper plate, like so. And then just attaches, and basically this is an accidental wrist swivel. I wasn't intending for him to have wrist swivel. This is just the only way I can think of connecting his hand. So yeah, that is one arm done. You're going to do the absolute same thing on the other side, but reversed. Then you will grab the torso. Of course, that piece is going to slide in there. And another thing that's different for this arm, actually, make sure that it is not just a normal tile on this side. It needs to be two individual jumper plates on the cannon arm side. So here is the difference. Make sure it is like this, because this is how you're going to attach that fusion cannon. Just like so. And then once again, just attach into there like so. Should be a pretty solid connection. And there you have his upper body already done. Now for his lower body. Alright, now kind of for a flashback to the hands, you're going to get bracket piece, jumper plate, 2x2. Then you're going to get a 2x1 plate right there. Then you got these two black D-snot pieces, and then this rounded. Going to make sure that this is rounded right here, so that this black stud hip piece can move freely. So yeah, and then the towel to finish it off. Of course, you got just attach that clips, bar, tile, bracket, brick, another clip, and yeah, just simply attaches like so. So yeah, there you go. Now you're gonna get a robot hand clip thingy, then rounded piece again, and you got a brick, and then this piece is either going to be this Technic piece or it's going to be another brick with a stud on the side. So pick either or. And then you're going to have this red bar right here with this red cheese slope on top, and then this bracket underneath with these pieces on it. And then you've got this piece underneath with that tile right there. So yeah, there you have that section. Just going to duplicate it and put it to the side. Then next you're going to do, grab a piece like this, and put these pieces underneath, just like so. And then going to grab this 2x4, put these tiles on it like so. Tile, slope, tile, 2x1 black and 2x1 red right here. Going to attach it like this. Of course, you're going to duplicate on each side. So they have these sections for the thins. I was gonna say the legs, thighs, thins, whatever. They're the shins. Right now I've got this downward bracket with these black and red tiles on them, on top of a jumper plate, on top of a bar, on top of 1x2 black, and then 1x2 black bracket. Underneath that you will have a 2x3. On top of that you will have a 2x2, which is then followed by a black 2x4 giant tile piece like this, just connecting it all with another bar piece down here, then another robot hand, then another one of these rounded pieces, then with a red brick, and then black cheese slope. And then to all this, have all this come together. Whichever side you have the ankle pivot robot hand piece for the foot, you will attach this to the opposite side. Right here. Not right here, actually. Up here. Is it up here? No. Yeah, it's down here. It looks a little off though. Maybe it's right. I don't know. Actually, I could just double check, and yes, it is correct. That is correct. So you will attach it down here, like so. And then just move this bar piece out of the way. This will attach to this side. So once again, make sure that robot hand clip up here is on the opposite side of the robot hand clip down here. And then it should look something like this. Make sure this isn't flopping everywhere. You're going to put that bar back in front of that piece right there. And yeah, like I said, same thing on the other side. And then you will simply attach the knee clips to the knee bars. And a moment of truth. There we go. That, wow, okay. Well, something went wrong behind the scenes, but yeah, Megatron's done. You only see his legs, but yeah, he's done. And that piece, backpack, fell over. And swords. Have fun with him. I'm done here.